Okay, so we'll continue the class for today. So today the first topic will already we discussed about cell referencing. So same thing we'll continue. Okay, so today's first topic is with cell referencing. So generally when we start writing formulas, so suppose if the column have values, so if I wanted to get the total or the multiplication of the values, then what I can do, equals. So any formula or function must begin with equal symbol that we are discussing from the first class. So whenever we start a formula or function, it must begin with equal, and it's basic user defined formula, first cell multiply by second cell. So I used here E4 multiply by F4. So this is example for formula. So once I double click for the rest of the formula lines, like for if I do autofill of this formula, so now automatically the cell recognize the next cell. So first cell is right now it is E4 into F4. Likewise, next cell will automatically take the related row. So column is same, E and F is as it is, it has taken, but we are copying to next row. So it has changed the row number E5 to F5. So this is normally will happen with your worksheet. And this referencing of address, when you copy the formula, automatically it takes the row number and column number according to the place how you are copying. So that mode is called relative referencing. So next row it might have taken E6 to F6. So normally Excel follow relative referencing when you copy the formulas or function. Let us say what is an example of function. For example, here I write equal to sum. So this sum is a built-in function. So starting range to ending address. So E6 to E4 to E6. So that is range. So this is, we are doing total using built-in function. It is one of the function in Excel, like basic formulas. We say statistical function, sum, count, maximum, minimum, if, all these things. So now if I drag this towards right side, so what will happen now? It will take, in this case, we can observe this. Columns are same, column is same, but row is same, column is changed. You can compare the first cell E4 to E6. So second, when I'm copying to next column, this is F4 to F6. So next it'll make G4 to G6. So likewise automatically it takes the reference. When you are copying into columns, now the column references are changed. E4, E column, F column, and here G column. When I do in row wise, it has taken 4th row, here 5th row, here 6th row. So this referencing, usually we call it as relative referencing. So now the same thing I'm going to show you with the same example. I wanted to find out price and quantity of all the for each product. So price values which is in F5 equal to F5 into G5. So now you will get the total. So you can drag down. So automatically for every row, it will take its relative row reference F12 to G12. Okay, so this mode of referring the cell address is called as relative referencing. So you are already, we discussed 1 or 2 times. So again, I'm repeating. Okay, so the next referencing is called absolute referencing. So what is absolute referencing? You can see this example. I wanted to find out the commission for the total sales. For everybody's total, I want to calculate 20%. So equals the total value into commission is 20%. So the 20% I have saved it in the separate cell, which is J20. So I log this cell using dollar symbol J and $20. So it's not 20, we have to use 19th row. So you can, it's blocking and showing, no? So $J, $19. So now you can see the result. So for every sales, you will find the commission. So now in the next row, it has taken H21, but the commission percentage is remain same. So the percentage value is remain same. So so for every row, it has to take same address. So for that, what we have mentioned, $J, $19. Okay. So like this, in when you are referring an address, both the side, the cell address, if I am referring this A17, if I refer $A, $17. So normally instead of referring A17, so I refer A17, suppose plus 10 I write here, just example. So A17 I make it 100. So now you drag. So what happening here? Next it is taken A18, next row A19. So this is normally, it's called relative referencing. So this relative referencing can be, in some cases, we cannot use this relative reference. So we need the address as absolute. So I can use dollar with the cell addressing. Both the side, if I add, that is called absolute. So equals $A, $17. So it's now the A17 is referred as absolute referencing in Excel. Okay. Similarly, one more method is there, mixed cell referencing. Mixed cell referencing means, so example A17, it's a relative. Absolute is $A, $17. Then mixed mode is either the side, either row has to be what you say fixed, column will be dynamic, or column can be fixed, row could be dynamic. So that is called as mixed cell referencing. So example is $A. I don't put $A, only 17 I will use. So 17 is relative, or A could be relative, the row can be dynamic. So either one side of the either row side or column side, if you add dollar, then it is called mixed cell referencing. So you can see this example. I wanted to calculate the commission value for the total. Directly we will take total, or other way, equals, the column is fixed. For example, $F35. You can see I'm writing $F35 into $G35, second, that is quantity. On the total, I want to calculate 10%. So which is, the column is row is fixed. So I'm going to use here row is 33. So $33. You can see that. So it has calculated as 150, and you can check for, you can fill for others. So double click on the formula, it will automatically fill for rest of them. So you can identify this for the next same 20 into 200 into that is 10%. Same thing. If I drag to next column, okay, so it's not right. So again, I should write in this cell also F35 into not H35, G35, and the percentage 20% is right. So 20%, which is in J33. So you can observe here $F36 into G36 into J33. So any doubts you should ask me. So this is an example of mixed cell referencing. Why I'm saying mixed cell referencing? Here I put dollar in column, but row is relative. Here also, okay, in this case also I should put $G. So I forget to give that $G, and in this case dollar should be in 33. Yeah. Yeah. So now it's filled properly. So make a note of this. It's very simple one. According to this example, for everybody, when we are calculating the commission, for every item, when we are calculating commission, so in this case, columns are fixed, row should be dynamic. In the commission, which is in the row wise, so the row is fixed, columns are changing. So when we wanted to see for 20%, it should take 20% commission. When I go for third tier, it should show 30% commission. So where this commission is located in the row 33. So in the formula 33 I locked. So dollar I have added before 33. Okay. So when we are writing our formulas and functions, the referencing when you copy to further cells, the same one formula, when you copy for other cells, if it has to take automatically the row reference or column reference, that is, it will perform automatically by your Excel sheet, and that referencing, that address referencing is called relative reference. But when the user want to fix one reference as fixed for all the, whenever we copy the formula to any cell, if that address is fixed, then the particular cell can be locked by adding dollar symbol. For that, shortcut key is F4. You can see now I'm just pressing F4, so it will change from absolute to relative. Again I want means I will press F4, will add the dollar symbol. So F4 is a function key, that is, which is the shortcut key for changing the cell referencing from absolute to relative, relative to absolute. So vice versa, it will be changing. So hereafter, when you see a formula or function where the cell address, if you could see dollar symbol, then you can understand that address is going to be fixed even when you copy for subsequent cells. So we may use relative reference. In this case, I'm using relative reference. In this example, I'm using fixed, that is absolute reference. In the third example, I'm using mixed cell referencing. Either row has to be fixed or column, not both. Okay, so if you see F35 $F35, so row is not fixed, column is fixed, so which is called mixed cell referencing. So in what we say, in the like if you go for companies or in the real time, you may like most of the time we work with relative reference, and in that special circumstances I should use compulsorily absolute referencing. Okay, one more example I'll show you in front of you. I have here the amount what we wanted to deposit. So I give here amount, different range I give. So I have a set of values. Here I have a set of interest rate, 5%, 7%, 10%. Now my intention, I want to calculate interest rate for all the like for 10,000, what will be the interest for 5% interest amount, if it is 5%, if it is 7 or 10. So how do I make, how do I write the formula? You can see the example, equals this the cell address into interest rate 5%, 10,000, which is in E50 into F49. F49 is available in 49th row. You can see now, but when I copy for others, my result will not be right. Now it is 5% on 10,000 is 500. But when I try to drag for others, now if I follow the same rule for other cells, it won't happen. You can see it has taken wrong reference. Here I should get 7% on 50,000. So that is not happened because it is taken relative referencing. So I don't want relative referencing here. Column should be fixed. So E should be fixed. So I'll put dollar. In this row should be fixed. So I'll put dollar in front of the row. Now you try to copy for others. It will happen correctly. So now any cell you refer, It has taken correctly 12,000 into 10%. If I point middle, 10,000 into 7%. Okay. So now by seeing this example, you could understand why we are adding dollar. Okay. So for all of them, for every, like in the first column, it has to find out the values in column E. So dollar is I added front in front of E. In this side, right side, uh, row is fixed, 49th row is fixed, so I'm added dollar. So like before the row I added dollar means the row is fixed. Here before the column I added dollar, so column is fixed. Where we don't add dollar, that is relative. So automatically you have to observe first formula E50 into F49. So next would be E51 into F49. E52 into F49. When I go here, it is E50 into G49. Here E50 into H49. So what do you make? You want to make dynamic, give it as relative. What you want to fix it, you make it as with the dollar. So any doubts with referencing, you can ask me. So mixed cell references, either side of the formula, either column has to be locked or row must be locked. So in Excel, when we write formulas and functions, the referencing either row side or the column side, if you add dollar, it called mixed referencing. Both the side if you add, it is absolute referencing. So any doubts you can ask me, or else we'll move on to next example. So you can try, you can make a note of the same examples and you can try. So example for relative, example for absolute, and example for mixed mode. And this is also mixed referencing. Either side you are given now. Okay. So you try all these examples. Okay. Next, how do I refer data from one sheet to another sheet? For example, in this sheet, if I have a set of data, so normally here, if this 3 cell, I wanted to access from another cell. For example, here I wanted to do sum of, I can directly move my cursor to the data 2. I can select the range. You can enter. So now you could see here we got sum from that range, but you can see the address, how it has taken data 1 exclamation D4 to D6. So now I'm showing you how to refer range from one sheet to another sheet. So when you want to calculate, when you want to do any manipulation with the data from one sheet can be referred from another sheet. For example, I wanted to find which is the highest sales in this from another sheet. Okay, so here equals maximum is a function which is to find out highest value. So equals max of, where is your data? You can directly browse and you can show, or if you know the address, you type the address over there and you can complete your function. So now you observe this formula equals max of cell referencing. What is cell referencing? Name of your worksheet. Right now, my day worksheet is cell referencing. Let us change the name to sales data. Okay, so you observe I'm just changing the sheet name. So now the sheet name is changed to sales data exclamation H5 to H12. So directly also you can write, for example, equals average of, directly you can write sales data exclamation. What is the range? H5 to H12. So H5 to H12. So this is average function. From that we are finding average of a range which is placed in another sheet. Okay, so the sheet name has to be enclosed within single quotes. Okay, the name sales data has to be enclosed within single quote. So now it is taking. Okay, so the range, the reference which we can take from another sheet. So when we are referring from another sheet, the sheet name has to be mentioned in single quote. Please make a note of this. The range referred from another sheet. Example for refer a range from another worksheet. So you can make a note of this. So sheet name exclamation symbol. So here I write sheet name exclamation then range. So the sheet name has to be given in single quotes. Okay. There is one more easiest way to handle this. For this range, I can give the name. So in the, this is called name box. You could see cursor is in below the ribbon left corner, which is called name box. So I give here, let's say it's a March month. So March sales, or I write here February sales. So user can define name for a range. You could see this. User can define name for a range. The name I'm just writing in the name box, press enter. Hereafter, in any of my calculation, I want to find minimum, like which is the least sales. So what is the name of your range? We are given as February. So you can see FEB I start, automatically it is showing in my suggestion list. I can close it. So you could see this range is selecting. So the name of the range, hereafter you no need to remember the address H5 to H12. Throughout the formula, like one particular range, if we wanted to use in different formulas, every time I should refer this range as H5 to H12. That naming, that reference, you no need to do. Instead of that, you fix some name for it. So that name can be identified easily by the user, and this will be accessible across the worksheet. You can access from another worksheet. You can see here, I just start the formula equals, I just use count. So I want to introduce this way. You can use the user defined name. Okay. So count, already everybody know that it's a built-in statistical function which count number of cells contains numbers. So what is the name of that? February. So it's visible to the next sheet also. So you no need to identify sheet name exclamation, then range. Okay, but when you are handling, if the worksheet only you are going to handle, it is not by others, then you can use this name. Okay, because if I'm creating, I'm sending to another client, if he wanted to see what is happening exactly with formula or with the values, so or somebody like what we say, some person has to go through that formula, or as per their requirement they should edit the formula. So in that case, if I write February sales, they should first they should find out where is February sales. Okay, if we are introducing, we will be knowing. But when you are when you are giving the worksheet to others, February sales, first they should identify how they can identify what is February sales now. If they go through the sheet, they'll find out FEB sales. So where do I get what is FEB sales? I know that. So the way is, if you go to formula, if you see the name manager, you could see this. Right now we are created February sales. So where it refers in sales data. So they should go to sales data, the range H5 to H12. So this is how they can see this. So if only you are handling, this method is very apt for that, or it's very handy to use. But when the same thing has to be referred by other user, then this way you have to use the same formula. I should use, how do I refer the data? Sales data, exclamation, that is single quote, exclamation, H5 to H12. This is very clear reference. Which one? Sheet name and range. So if you go for companies, they might follow the second method. Okay, both are working same way, same result, but the difference, as I told you, this is easy to use, but the user should go through what is February sales, if at all they want to edit it. Okay, but if you take the second method, they can easily understand the first reference is sheet and the second reference is range. So they directly go through where is sales data and what is the range. It's very open addressing. Okay, so explicitly we are giving the sheet name and range address. But in this, the sheet name range address, it's lengthier and it is very hard to remember every time. So this naming can be used. So both the methods are right, and that means both the methods are valid. You can use it, but when we have to consider the same worksheet is handled by other users, other clients, then explicit referencing is better way for them. Okay, or else you have to already before starting, before handling that, you should tell these are all the way we are, like you are having the addressing method, so then they will go through that. So my conclusion is very simple. One data from one sheet can be easily accessible to another sheet, and you can refer in the formulas, functions for any of the reference, the range or a cell data can be referred from one worksheet to another worksheet. And one more example, the data from one workbook can also be referred in another workbook, means not between the sheet, between the files. So you could see I have two files in my place, like I currently open. One is cell referencing, another one is lookup. Okay. If you want, I just open a blank workbook. So Control N for opening new workbook. So this new workbook with the name book 1. Okay. So now from this, I want to use the same data in book 1. So here what do I say is equal to sum of, if I refer February underscore sales is not visible. You can see after typing FEB, it's not showing like previous one. So what I can do, like now directly I can browse to that sheet. That means currently opened workbook. I can refer the range. Again, I could come back. So now you can see the referencing. You could see this file name, then February sales. So first is cell referencing dot xlsx. So it's a file, your file name is cell referencing. XLSX is the file extension name, file format, currently in 2016. Then FEB sales is the range name. You're getting? So if we need, we can access data from one workbook to another workbook whenever you are writing your formulas and functions. So that's what in this topic, how do you refer the data from one sheet to another sheet? How do you refer data from one workbook to another workbook? Both you could see this. So all you people have to try, and this is mandatory. Like you go for VBA, you go for advanced Excel, or in your future job, compulsorily this referencing is must. So how do you refer the range within the sheet from one worksheet to another worksheet, from one workbook to another workbook? It's very simple. First you try, suppose in A1 cell I have 100, you assume. So the sheet name you observe, whatever sheet name is there, sales data, you could rename anything. If I want to refer here, so what I should do is equal to sales, in single quote I should write sales data, then A1. So now, sorry, between exclamation is important. So that the syntax you have to remember. Name of the sheet should be in single quote, then exclamation, then cell address. So now I'm getting here 100 as the value because I didn't do any calculation, just I'm referring that cell. So whatever the value in the cell A1, I'm getting here. I didn't do any calculation. I'm just getting the data, accessing the data. So now if I go and change the value here, let's say change to 1000. So immediately here also it will change to 1000. That means in this place also. So accessing the data is one, and referring in the formula also, it will support, it will pass the value, that formula will calculate the result. So directly refer the value from one sheet to another sheet, or refer the value from a function. Both are possible. Okay, if it is fixed, again here also you can make it fixed referencing. Okay, that is also possible. So for example, here you assume employee IDs are there. Salary I have here, bonus. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'll just enter some date records. And salary of the employees. Now I wanted to get this plus this data. So now for all of them from the another sheet 1000 plus, so for everybody this is fixed plus K5. So any point of time, if I go on change here, suppose bonus amount is this year it is 700. So immediately for them also it's only 700, 12,000 plus 700. You could see this for all of them it is. So once you change the data in that worksheet, automatically in this formula, the same value will be updated immediately. So the cell, once you refer cell refer, if you refer the cell, automatically the data in the source cells will get updated to the result cell. Okay. So all the way you try. So this is example for referring data from one workbook to another workbook. So here book name has to be given in single quotes. Okay. So here I mentioned sheet name exclamation range, or you can say book name then exclamation range. Or suppose here also if the sheet name is following sheet name then again exclamation then range. Let try the second model also. For example, here I have the value in A1. I just type the value as 500. Now from another sheet, let's say book 1, here I wanted to get this value. So now you could see this cell referencing in square bracket, then worksheet name, then you have cell address. So book name, if you are adding, then the book name should be in square bracket. Then till sheet name. Okay, so one thing I should, no more exclamation. So only last exclamation. So always exclamation before what you have, either it could be sheet name or before exclamation, either it could be sheet name and book name. So book name, it will take always the reference also, book name dot xlsx. Okay. So referring from one workbook to another workbook. So it should be in square bracket starting with single quote and here it's ending. Then after that range address. So what you are learning, it's very important. As I said, if you go for companies, this is the cell referencing is important. So these are all the different way you can access the cell from within the sheet, between the sheets, between workbooks, and with absolute referencing, relative referencing, and mixed referencing. So today's topic with that one of the topic is cell referencing. Under that, these are all the things you need to know, and even the user defined naming. How do you refer? How do you fix the name for a range? So any doubts you can ask me now regarding this topic, particular topic. So cell referencing, under that relative then absolute referencing, then mixed mode referencing. So this you have to try. Then what is user defined naming for a range, that also you have to work. How to fix the name for your range, and how do you use within the formula or from one sheet to another sheet. And second, you have to try reference data from one sheet to another and from one workbook to another workbook. And how do you refer in the formula with the different, what are the basic formulas, you know. So the first basic formula, like what we say, built-in functions. Under that, statistical functions or the basic mathematical function also you can take. So usually these are all called statistical functions: sum, max, minimum, count, average. Okay, so for this auto sum we use alt and plus equals. So the shortcut key is alt key and plus symbol. Alt and equal. Okay, so if you do that, you will immediately get auto sum. And in your home ribbon, the under basic auto sum you have this sum, average, count, maximum, minimum. And if you come to formulas, so if you see the category statistical, so you'll find all these function. Okay, under this category only count, sum is not there, average, count, these are all functions are there, maximum, minimum, except sum, all other count functions and all is there in statistical. Okay, so these are all the category of functions. Okay, so anything like if you are working on a new function, we wanted to know the syntax of that, you can go to insert function. So what do you want? For example, already we have done countif. So if I take countif, so countif function, once I say okay, it will tell on which range what is the condition. So it the what is the use of function, what argument I should give. So all this, like it's like assist you that what you have to type there. What, so first argument is range, second argument of the function is criteria. So if I wanted to know again help on this function, I can go to Microsoft website where I will get the explanation along with example. So for every function, if I come here, I'll get the meaning, everything. That is, if in future any function you are exploring by yourself, you can come and you can check here how it is working. Okay, but at least we should have a basic knowledge to work on this. So we said already we have more than 600 built-in functions are available. Okay, so Excel have more than 600 built-in functions. Okay, fine, we'll take 10 minutes break, then we will continue. Okay, so go through this and we'll see. After 10 minutes we'll continue. Okay, we'll continue. So in continue to this, again lookup functions also we have done already. Okay, so again we'll go through with lookup. functions. So in related to this, it's for searching a data in a table. So here we have a function like we have VLOOKUP, that is vertical lookup. Then HLOOKUP is there, horizontal lookup. Then only lookup you have. In respect to the same, we use match and index. So the next session, like now, the next topic is based on these functions. So already we discussed for one session. Okay, in this again I'll continue. So those who are already attended, but still you can go through this. Okay, so we say vertical lookup or column wise lookup, and this is horizontal lookup or row wise lookup. I don't know which row or column to be mentioned. So generally, whether a row wise or column wise lookup, you can go for just lookup. And you have a function match and index to search and find the data location. And if I give that row and column number for accessing the data index. So this all for searching data from a table range. Okay. So these are all built-in functions. You can see in Excel sheet, formulas under lookup and reference. Under that, so we are working on HLOOKUP, lookup, index, VLOOKUP, okay, and match. So many functions are there. In that, first we are working on this. You can see I don't know why this window is appearing. So here, first I'm going to introduce with VLOOKUP. Okay, vertical lookup. So I have here set of score value up to 0 to 59, no grade, 60 to 70 C, 72 like up to 69 it is C, 70 to 79 B grade, 80 to 89 A grade, 90 above 90 all comes under A plus. You could see this. So I wanted to, if the person getting the value marks 70 to 80, 70 onwards till 79, the grade should come as B. So now you can see here, I referred VLOOKUP first argument. In this VLOOKUP, we have 4 arguments: lookup value, table array, column index, and range lookup. Here I said VLOOKUP for I45, I14. I14 is the cell address where the current score of a student is present, comma, I'm searching this 45 within this table. The table is E7 to F11. In this table, second column value, first column is score, second column is grade. I wanted to get grade, where approximate I've given. So 45, exactly 45 is not there, but 0 to 45, that means 0 to 59, the grade will be given as nil. You could see this. So just you refer, just an example you do for only one student. For example, I give here 77. I wanted to find the grade of 77 by looking into this table. So how do I give? Is equal to VLOOKUP. So first argument of this function, lookup value. I'm searching for this value, that is for the mark 77, where the cell address is H8, or you can give directly 77 also, but right now, okay, 77, I'm searching for 77 in the table. The table is E7 to F11. So once you type E7 to E7 to F11, you can see it's blocking and showing. Then column index, I wanted to get grade for 77. So in that table, second column is grade. Then fourth argument, I want exact match or approximate match. So I want approximate, because 77 exactly there is no value in that. There is only approximate reference. 70 to 79, it is B grade. So that I will get. So for me 77, so I should get grade B. Is it clear? So from the current, for the current value, I'm looking into another table. From that I'm searching the same value. If there is an approximate value, I'm getting the related column value. So once again I'll show you, is equal to VLOOKUP. Then H7, sorry, H8, comma, the reference is E6 to colon, full table also I can give, or only the data table, like only the data range you can give. I'm selecting from the heading F11. So exactly full table I have taken, the including heading. In that, search H8 in E6 to F11. If there is a match found, extract the data from second column. When it is looking into the table, exactly if I'm searching with ID number, then I can search exact match. So searching of the data, exactly if it is same. If I ask you, I want to find Ramya in the table, Ramya, if I give exactly, if the word Ramya is there, it could search. But I'm not sure that it's not exact value. It has to deal with approximate. So I'm selecting, so true or false. The last argument, sometimes they say true or false. In some of them, if they don't mention, it means it is false, which is exact match. So in this, as per this example, I cannot give exact. I should say only approximate. So now I'll get the result. So now I change the values to 91. So 90 above, it is A plus. You could see the result. 45 I'll give. I'm getting nil. No grade up to 60. From 60 onwards, I'll get grade C. Up to 69. 69, it is grade C. From 70 onwards, it becomes B. You could see the result. 80. If I say 89, it is A. But when I change to 90 onwards, then it becomes A plus. So like this, not only for grade, if I have an ID number of I have all the student information in one table. If I type the ID number, if I want, I can get only your mail ID. I can get only your contact number. I can get only your qualification. So from the table, I don't want to look into all the details. Only what are the columns. Like if I know in my table, your contact number is in 5th column, your mail ID is in 6th column, I'll take only that. I can uh, use for my communication. So I can extract only what I want from the table by referring the column number. So that's called vertical lookup. Okay, so it will look up the data inside the table, and if it's found, it returns the value. If not found, then it will say hash NA. Okay, so if I, in this case, everything up from 0, suppose I give the mark -10. So from 0 it is nil, -10 is not there, so negative value we didn't give, no, so it's giving hash NA. So the lookup functions will search the data. If not found in the table, it returns hash NA, not available. So sometimes our functions or formulas return error value. Okay, so this is one of the error value. Please make a note of this. So some function returns hash NA, means the searching data not available in the table. That is a meaning. And it is a error value. So it means in Excel we consider as it's one of the error value. Like this, other uh, results are there, hash NA. Then have you observed this? Normally, have you tried, for example, is equal to 10 divided by 0. So in computer, number divided by 0, but in a real time we say 0. But system cannot divide any number by 0 because the processor cannot do that. So you will get always, it's a error. So division by error. So number divided by 0 error. So these are all hash divided by 0 error. So these are all we have to slowly experience, and you may get when in the workplace. So if you don't want, or if you wanted to solve this, for that also there are some way you can solve this. If for example, sometimes we make that is it's happened. So if I give the value, if your ID number not in the table, then I'll get hash NA, that means not available. So this I can put it in another, which is if error. There is a function called if it returns error, then what I wanted to give, just I'll make it empty. So now the same error has been avoided. You can see. If error, from VLOOKUP function, make it empty. So this you will learn later. So this also, because we know that this function returns error, but for end user, when you are submitting report to the clients, when we are doing, it's okay because we need. But when you give as a report form to others, for your clients or customer, then they should not, if it is not there, they should find out empty or some alternative message, but not hash NA, not error messages. Okay, when we do in this cases, we get error definitely, but when you prepare as a report, we should hide all the error messages. For that, you wanted to put alternative messages, you should use if error function. So make a note of this. If there is an error, is equal to if error of this cell, then make it empty. This is empty reference. Double quotes I opened and closed. So no value. Suppose if there is no error, then I write the message okay. So if error comes, then it says empty, or else it says okay. So only two argument. If there is an error, then value if error what you want. So that message you can give. So there is an error, so I'm getting okay. If there is no error, if I'm dividing with proper values, then I will not get error. Then only that result will appear. Okay. So later on we'll discuss, but you make a note in your book. There is a function which is called if error. So this is used to check the formula or function returns error or not. If error return, if it returns error, what we want to set alternative message. Okay, this is for only checking for errors. Okay, so come back to the same. So I think you can able to solve this. Okay, so we look up vertical lookup, which has 4 arguments: lookup value, table array, which column number are you looking, and exact match or approximate. So you have to say true or false. True means approximate match, false means exact match, or you can say 1 or 0, 1 for true, 0 for false. Okay, now we'll move on to the next example. This is also in respect to lookup example, but you could see this. If the okay, in the loop, along with lookup we are using if function. So like in Excel, to attain or to achieve or to get the expected result, you can combine more than one formula. Like one function can be written within another, which is called nested functions. So now inside we look up, we have written if function. So only if you see first what is the use of this if function, we are checking if F25. So F25 is where the market values are given. So if F25 is UK, it should search me in the UK table. Here there is a separate table which is for UK sales, separate table for US sales. So this name of the table is UK and this name of the table is US. Any doubts? Anybody have doubts? I'm just keep on explaining. And today some another batch students also combined. So that's the reason I'm taking some common topic. Okay. So any doubts, anybody have doubts, you can ask me. Are you listening first? How many of you listening? How many of you can understand this? Dhanush, Yukta, Preetham, Darshan, Chandana, Chaitra, any of you have doubts? So today another batch faculty Aditya is not feeling well, so that's the reason we combine. Next class we will continue. Okay. Do people have any doubts? Okay. So let us go through this. See here I have last name, market, sales, and I want to find bonus. When based on the sales value, I should find bonus. But if the market is UK market, then I should search in UK table. So here I have given the name for this table. So I selected this range just before, like in the first part of the session, I have said how to give the name for a range. So you can see in the name box here, this is name box, this is called formula bar. So always the names or the selected cell address appear in the name box. You could see this. So like this, I selected second table, I named it US. Same way I selected here, I named it as UK. So user has to check here, if the market is UK, then compare the sales amount in the UK market table. Here, so here 5,171, which is UK. So I should search here for 5,000, what is a bonus? So for 5,000, it is 600 rupees. 4 to 5,000 is 600. You let's say for USA, so USA table, so it should search this amount in US. In US, up to 0 100 bonus, 0 to 5,000 rupees, 5,000 to 10,000 1,500. So this amount is 10,366. So in the this person should get only 1,500 as bonus. So that how we are searching into two different tables that you can see. We look up G25 sales amount. If the market F2 is UK, then search in UK. This is name of the table. Else search in US. So you are searching in F25. If the value is UK, then the G25 has to be, that is sales amount has to be searched in UK table, or the sales amount should be searched in US table. Then in that table, I want to extract second column value. Then we are given approximate match. Again, the last argument is approximate match. So VLOOKUP has 4 argument: lookup value, lookup range, column number, then match type, approximate match or exact match. So in this second argument, that is range lookup, we made it choice. If the market of that particular person, salesperson, if it is UK market, search in UK table. If the market is USA, search in USA. So that this is the range name. UK and US are the range name. Just now I said you can select and you can set the name. Here it's UK. Like that, for this it is named as US. So user defined name for the range. So based on that, we followed it and we are extracted. So you could see 5171. It's UK market. So it should search here for 5171. So it is 4000 to 5000. So you should get 600 rupees. This is UK market 1381. So 1003 up to 1999, it is zero bonus. So you are getting zero. It is USA market. So it shares to search the 10,366 in US market. So it is 1500. So the text is USA UK means I referred UK table. If the text is USA means it should refer US table. Okay. So now in this case 7375. So 7375 means 700 bonus. So that you can cross verify. Okay. So like this, as per our requirement, if there is a criteria has to be checked, then you have to take, then you can combine different functions into one place to perform your task. So only thing we should know which function has to be used, what are the arguments, how logically we can combine. So for that you need practice and you have to uh, like this, these are all real-time examples. Means in the company you might have given the data in different places. You should look up and you have to combine, bring into one place. These are all the job of MIS report, who are all performing management information system report. For them these are all mandatory tasks. Okay, so whatever examples I am giving, which you, if you go for a company, you will be having this kind of you like the formulas can be used in this way. So such a way we are giving. So try to practice, and any doubts you can mail me. I give my mail ID, and whatever we are doing in front of you, the same thing you have to practice. And any doubts you can message to my mail ID. Okay, this is my mail ID. Any doubts regarding the topic, or if you do practice, you can send the file to me. Okay. So next function we have index and match, where uh, like in the VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, some definite values. I should know what I'm searching. I should say, excuse me, column number or row number you have to mention. So here in index and match, you can see I have employee data where ID number, first name, last name, and salary is there. Here, if you see, I'm using index. Here, ID number is 35. So we know that in the small table, 35 is there. But every example I'm showing with small table, but in the real time, your table will be bigger one. Like you have lot of transaction, lot of data, whether sales, it could be your employee, or personal detail, product detail, or any transactions you may have in bulk. But so that is a real use of function. If it is only 4 rows, 5 rows, by seeing only we will only understand. No, for ID number 35, what is the salary means I will get it immediately. But this is useful when you have huge amount of data. If I have lakhs and lakhs of rows, 10,000 rows, then how do I search for the particular ID number? So in that case, these functions will help you to search and get quickly. So now you can see the another usage of index function. So here first we are finding match, we are giving match function. So what is match here? Is equal to match of 35 lookup array. So this is in this, we know, as I said, I know this in this 35 where is there. So that reference I'll get. can see it is in 4. It's saying what is 4? Fourth row. Okay, so for example, if I give some value, direct value, which is not there in my table, so 90 I have given, there is no id. You can see here in this there is no value for 90, so it says hash na. So if I give any available numbers, it tell me the position, that means which row number. If I say 96, in that table 96 is second row. You could see this. If I say 58, it should say first row, that means first place in the table. Okay, so like this we tried M38 in the table and the exact match, so it's showing me 4. So this is I used along with, this is the use of match function. So match function will search and give you the position, okay, in that table. Then index function is, I can from the table, okay, if I have a table, in that table if I say the row number and column number exactly, if I say third row, it says, it's returns me third is 12, I'll get it. So how I combined here both match and index, you can observe. So index of, first I'm giving in this, I wanted to get the particular value where it search and find for particular ID number. So match function will return what is the position of 35. 35 is fourth place. That will be returned by match function. Then from this table, fourth salary is 2 lakh 2,36,500. That I will get. So these are all for searching purpose. Okay. So first thing, I want to search the data. If I have a bulk data, how do I search? If I give your ID number in the table, I want to search. I'll show you one more example. You can see this example here. I have the employee data with multiple columns: name, department number, basic pay, date of joining, and location. This is what we have discussed already. From this, I selected only few ID number. I wanted to get only, okay. So you can see here in this example, we are searching 114 in that table. This is M data. M data is a user defined name in that third column. So third column is, excuse me, yeah. Any doubts, Pa? Anybody have doubts? Okay, I got some voice interruption, so I was waiting. Okay, you can see the particular ID number in the employee data, where the third column is basic pay. So third column, so for 114, his salary we wanted to get. So that's what we are getting here. Sorry, third column. Okay, third column is department column. So 114 is he's in record. His department is production. That's what I'm getting. And 121 I have given. That is also it will search and give you only for 121. HR is a product like his department. So only for from the huge data table, I wanted to extract only the specific information or all the record or only what you want. You can extract. For that you can use VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, lookup or match and index. Okay, so these are all it's basically for search and extract data from a range. So if you give the lookup value, it will search and it extracts from given column number or the row number. So last class, this already I've taught to my existing batch people. So again, we'll work on this is H lookup. So you can see I wanted to search E1. E1 means date of joining. Date of joining in that 10th row I want. So I know that only if your roll number is 10, then in this table exactly 10th roll number. So from the column if you count it, only 9 will come. That means 9th row will come. So now in the table in data of joining, I wanted to find 10th row. So 10th row means it's getting 8/8/2016 means, yeah, exactly you are getting 10th row means 109 data of joining. So here also I should know where is your record. Your ID number is present in which row number. That row number I should find again by using match. How do I get 10? Right now I know that you are in 10th place, so I'm giving 10. Suppose I don't know where is 10, what I should do? I should find out using match. Match lookup value. So suppose I wanted to look up for the particular ID number from the table. So I in this table I'll select only the data. So the second function, first it returns the row number, then it will from the table it will get 10th row. So finally I'm getting same. Okay, so H lookup value, table array, row index, and index table returns the searched value by giving the row index and column index. You should say row and column number, then it returns the value. So any doubts in respect to pivot table? For another batch, I have taken last class pivot table and chart. I think for BCom students, it may not be covered. So next class, I think Aditya will continue. Okay, we will try one small exercise. So this you have to try in your system. It's an exercise for today's class. Okay. Now my first question, uh, using which chart I can represent the sales comparison of the employees? First question, what chart type I should use? Second question, after getting the chart, I wanted to see view only for first four employees, not for all. Then move to chart sheet and display data table. Data table in chart sheet. So this is a four task. So normally the sales comparison, I can go for column chart or bar chart. Okay. Now, after selecting this data, I can go to insert chart. So in this, by default, automatically the suggestion chart is column chart is coming. So I'll select here. I'll say okay. Immediately I'll get the chart. Again from this, I don't want to see for all. So I'm using only for first four employee. So if you look at the chart, in the right side, filter tool will be there. You can deselect all. You can select only the first four employees. So you could see now only for four employees it's showing. Next, I said you can move on to the chart sheet. Now it is in worksheet as part of your worksheet and comparison only for four employees, first four employee. Move from the design tab, you can move to chart sheet. Object in new sheet. Say okay. It is from the worksheet, your chart is moved to the chart sheet area. Same way, I wanted to display data table. So in design, add chart layout, sorry, quick layout, I can show below table. So now you enlarge and see here. Below you could see the data of all the employees. Okay, so this is the first exercise. For the sales comparison, you can use column chart or stacked column or bar chart. So this will be the best choice. So if you go for interviews and interviews, they'll be asking if this is the data, what if this is the comparison I want to do, what type of chart you can use. So this is basic chart, column, pie, bar, and line charts and all. There are advanced chart like water flow chart. Then in the chart itself, you can add break-even analysis, and you have XY chart, bubble chart. So what chart types are available and for what kind of comparison, so that you should know. Then how do you I should able, usually if you select a table, the chart appear for entire range. Instead of that, you can only you are, suppose you are showing with your customer, only that particular customer data has to be showed in the chart, then you should able to filter. Next, how if I want to take printout, then how do I move to the chart sheet and I can take print of my chart. So once after adding, if you go to print option, directly in a sheet I can take printout of this chart. So this you should know. And second, last one is uh, in the chart, anything, if I ask you change the legend, change the table, change the title. So chart, how do you change the chart title, and how do you change the x-axis title, y-axis title, And how do I apply the gradient fill for this? Suppose February sales or January sales, I wanted to fill with gradient. So fill option, gradient fill. So what color combination you want, you select and you apply. So for all you should select, and the gradient fill, you have to apply one specific format, and in this again you try to pick up different color. Okay, so any any element of your chart, like plot area, chart area, x-axis title, y-axis title, chart title, so everything you can try to customize. So here I just give sales comparison for first quarter, for first 3 months. So like this, each part of the chart element of the chart you try to alter. Okay, and how do you change your plot area? So chart area is outline border, plot area is inside border. So that how do you fill? So I just changed to blue color. So whichever color you would like, you can alter it. So you should know all the chart elements: chart area, plot area, legend, title, data table, x-axis title, y-axis title. So everything you try. So your assignment question is, prepare this chart. Just now what I did in front of you, you try and send to me in my through my mail ID. Okay. And assignment question, theory question is, what are the chart types are there? Chart types supported in Excel, and briefly explain any 5 charts. Okay. So this is your assignment question, and the practical is, this chart has to be created and sent to me, and rest of the thing you practice. What are the cell reference we have done, and how do you use VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP function? Okay, that's it for today's class. I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay, thank you, Pa. We'll see you on Wednesday. Okay.